things that I had actually a video that popped up last week, and the video was about things that you should never talk about. And I didn't agree with it never being talked about. But I did agree with some things not being talked about on the first date. And so I decided I would do a video tonight about just kind of clearing up some topics that you should not touch on the first date, especially with women. And I'm also going to give you guys a little bit more tidbit information on what you should be paying attention to, okay? Because I think sometimes we like people so much and we are attracted to someone so much, especially men with attraction. I mean, men, if you're if men can see a woman and it all comes out the window. It's like, oh, she bad. I'm attracted to her. But I want you guys to be cognizant of what your subconscious is saying. And so we're going to talk about that because I don't think that we give enough credence to our subconscious. And that subconscious speaks as our intuition, as our gut. And a lot of times we don't listen to our gut. We listen to what our mind is saying. We listen to what our heart is saying, but we're not listening to what our gut is saying. And, there's a popular saying that says, follow your heart. That's absolute BS. Your heart will lead you into a daggone wall. You need to listen to your gut. Okay, you got to listen to your gut. Your gut is coming from a lower place. It's not coming from up here, and it's not this feeling. It's your gut. It's like, okay, this person is special. This person's not special. There's something about this person I don't want to share with. Sometimes we don't give enough credit to what our intuition is saying. Okay, so I want you guys to not to do a better job. I think we all can do a better job of listening to our gut. Our intuition is way more powerful and reads cues way more fluently than we give it credit for, okay? There are relationships I would not have gone in if I listened to my intuition, because that subconscious is processing years and years of information within seconds, okay? So meaning that if you met somebody and you're on the phone with them and for whatever reason there's something that makes you feel unsafe, or something that makes you feel like you can't really share, and you're like, maybe I'm just nervous, maybe I'm just this, or maybe I'm just that. No, that's actually your subconscious reading the energy, right? We're giving off lots of energy before we say a word. You only saying, maybe 10% or 5% of what you're actually feeling, what you're thinking. The rest of it is your body language and the energy that you are emoting. And your subconscious can read that. And we don't give that enough voice, okay? So I want you guys to really be mindful of what your subconscious is saying. Because you guys, there might be women, y'all listen to me. There's some women that you done sat down with, and your subconscious is like, nah, she might have been bad, but you already knew that this is not the person that you take seriously. Because your subconscious, your gut was like, no, don't share. Don't say nothing for real. Don't tell her about your past. Don't open up to her. There's something about you that kind of is like, I feel uneasy about this person. I don't feel safe with this person. And that's not necessarily physical, because I'm sure all of you guys can protect yourselves. It's more about the fact that you don't feel emotionally safe with women. And we pass through that, but that's very important. Guys, it's very, very important in any type of relationship with anybody you decide to be with. You got to feel emotionally safe, right? Some of you guys will be so attracted to a woman, you bypass the fact that she wasn't emotionally safe. And then later on in the relationship, you find out the hard way, she's not emotionally safe. Now she's saying things about you, spreading your business without you knowing, you finding out through other people what she's saying about, like, you're now finding out the hard way that your initial gut reaction about who this woman was, not by what people said about her, by what you interpreted from her own energy. You felt unsafe. You pushed through that. You decided to keep dealing with her. And now on the other side of the breakup of the relationship, you're like, dang, I should have paid attention to my subconscious. I should have paid attention to my gut. My gut was telling me some things. Most of the time, your gut is going to lead you in the right direction. Your spirit knows. And so I want you guys to be empowered by that, because I think a lot of times we ignore that. And you should not ignore that. I'm going to give you an example. You go on a date you talk to somebody on the phone, and they just a couple words, and you're like, I don't want to There's something about her, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's like I feel like I can't really share with her. Like something in my spirit doesn't want to share with her. And this is outside of trauma, family. So we want to separate the fear of vulnerability because you've been hurt before and like genuinely you're feeling like this person is giving my gut an instinct that I need to protect myself. Right? Because I've felt that before. I've gone on the phone with somebody and I'm like, I don't feel like I can be myself. Like, I don't feel safe to be myself. I don't feel safe to share what I'm actually feeling. And I thought it was me being nervous, or I thought it was me not necessarily, no, really just being nervous or being a, people pleaser and whatever the case may be. And no, it was because that person was not safe, right? That person was not safe. And so, with that being said, I want to empower you guys to listen to your gut, okay? Because I don't care how she looks, although looks are important. I want you to pay attention to how that gut is feeling because your spirit's gonna let you know. Your spirit's gonna let you know, oh, there's something about this girl. I like her. Like, there's gonna be, your gut's gonna have lots of different reactions to different types of women. There's gonna be very few women your gut's gonna be like, oh, I like her. This feels like home. Pay attention to that because there's something that your spirit is telling you, right? And then there's women you're gonna be around, and it's gonna be like, oh no, I don't feel it. She bad and everything, but I don't feel safe with her. I just, those are things we have to pay attention to. Okay, the at home feeling, the comfortable feeling, the fact that you feel like you can relax, you can kind of share. You're not really thinking about what you're saying too much. You're like, I feel like I feel safe just being myself with this person. Pay attention to that. That's a good sign. But if it's another sign where it's like, I don't know, I don't know about her. I don't know. Pay attention to that too. Pay attention to that too. Okay? So those are things that you definitely need to be paying attention to. But okay, now we're gonna talk about some things that you should or should not. So first things first, like I said, pay attention to your spirit. Your spirit saying don't share. Okay, don't share. You ain't gotta share. You ain't listen, some of y'all are great at not sharing. And I'm not saying that, but there's some men that be sharing and they don't need to be sharing. Listen, I'm an oversharer. I've gotten better at it. I don't share as much as I used to, but I'm very much an open book. God is working on me. God is working on me because I'm too open. It's too much detriment. But I like to talk, and I've gotten to a place now where it's like, okay, I'm putting myself in positions with people that I feel like I can trust. But that's a whole nother story for another day.